Hi guys, Saloni this side and welcome back to our channel Code Era. So this is the 42nd video of our SQL tutorial series, and in the last video we discussed about the asset properties. And if you want to watch this video, then please check out the video link in the description box. And guys, if you want to learn transactional command, then you must understand the concept of asset properties. So here I would suggest you to first watch this video. So guys, in this video we are going to discuss below transactional commands. So we will discuss begin or start transaction, commit command, rollback command, save point, and rollback to save point command. So the first transactional command is start transaction. So whenever we start or begin any transaction, then we have to tell the database management system that we are starting a transaction. So start transaction is the command that we use to mark the beginning of the transaction. So now all the SQL queries we will execute after this command will come under the same session of the transaction until it is committed or rollback. And here the meaning of committed is permanently saved to the database, and the meaning of rollback is undo the changes or to revert the changes. So in MySQL we can use start transaction or begin command. So guys, these two commands are supported by most of the database management system, and some DBMS support begin transaction command also. So now let's run start transaction command in MySQL workbench and check how it works. So we will write start transaction. Now let's execute this query. So you can see in the action output we are getting message 0 rows affected. And here this green tick mark indicates that our transaction is started successfully. Now let's execute some SQL queries in our current session of transaction. So guys, here I already have a table EMP. So you can see in this table I have 5 columns: ID, name, salary, date of birth and department. And in this table I already have 10 records. So now let's say we want to update the name of the employee with the ID 105. So here the name of the employee is Tom. But now I want to update this name to Saloni. So we will write update EMP set name equal to Saloni, where ID equal to 105. So now let's execute this query. So guys, in the action output you can see one row is affected. So let's again check out our EMP table. So here you can see employee name with the ID 105 is now updated to Saloni. Now if we want to save these changes or modification permanently into our DB, so for this we have to use a transactional command, which is commit command. So we use this command to permanently save the changes made during the current transaction. And once we commit a transaction, then it is permanent. That means we cannot revert or undo our changes. So now let's commit our changes permanently to the database. So for this, we just have to write this commit command and then we will execute the query. So you can see in the action output our command is executed successfully. That means now our changes are permanently saved to our database. So guys, now suppose in any transaction we have done any incorrect change or any unwanted modification, and now we want to revert back to the previous state of our database, which is before we start the transaction. So for this we have a transactional command rollback. So guys, this command is used to undo the changes which are made during the current transaction. So the rollback command will discard all the modification made within the current transaction. So to use this command we just have to write rollback keyword. So to execute this command, let's first start a new transaction. So we will write start transaction and we will execute this command. Now let's again check our employee table. So here let's say we want to update the salary of the employee with the ID 101. So we will write update EMP set salary equal to 5000 where ID equal to 101. Now let's execute this query. So you can see our query is executed successfully and one row is affected. Now let's again check our employee table. So you can see the salary of the employee with the ID 101 is updated to 5000. But now we want to revert these changes. So for this we will execute rollback command. So we will write rollback and then we will execute this. So you can see 0 row affected and our rollback command is executed successfully. Now let's again check the record of the EMP table. So you can see our changes are revert back to its starting point, which is before we start the transaction. And one more important thing guys, that we can either commit a transaction or we can roll back it. That means you can't roll back a transaction which is already committed. So once the transaction is committed, that means the changes are permanently saved to the database. Then these changes cannot be rolled back. So always be careful whenever you commit a transaction. And guys, here I want to let you know about a new term which is auto commit mode. So in SQL, all the DDL commands are committed by default. And we have already discussed about the DDL command in this video of our SQL tutorial series. So if you want to watch this video, then you can also check out the video link in the description box. So guys, in MySQL, this auto commit mode is enabled by default, which means whenever we execute any SQL statement, then it is automatically committed. So in such cases, each statement is considered a transaction by itself and is automatically committed if succeed. And if we want to group a multiple SQL statement into a single transaction, then we must explicitly start a transaction using discussed command, which is begin or start transaction command. Now suppose you don't want this auto commit mode, or we can say you want to commit or roll back manually. Then you can use below command to disable the auto commit mode. So you have to write set auto commit equal to 0, or you can also write set auto commit off and then just execute this query. So by executing this query, we are turning off the auto commit mode of the MySQL. And to enable it again, you can use below commands. But always remember that all the DDL commands are auto committed by default. We cannot disable the auto commit mode of DDL commands. And in many DBMS, this auto commit mode is disabled by default, like in Oracle. So it may vary from one DBMS to another. So now let's discuss our next transactional command, which is SAVEPOINT. So it is very useful transactional command, because with the help of SAVEPOINT command, we can set a point within a current transaction to which we can later roll back. So it is like a breaker to a rollback command. So the SAVEPOINT tells the rollback command that you can only roll back up to this specific point. So this command is useful when we want to revert the transaction up to a certain point without rolling back entire transaction. So to create a SAVEPOINT, we have to use below command. So we have to write SAVEPOINT keyword followed by the name of that specific SAVEPOINT. So now let's do some hands-on with this command. So let's first start a transaction using start transaction command. So let's execute this query. So you can see our transaction is started successfully. Now let's execute some SQL statement in this transaction. So I will update the salary of the employee where the ID is 101. So here I am updating the salary of the employee to 5000. But before executing this query, let's first check the records of the employee table. So I will write select star from EMP. So guys, you can see here the salary of the employee with the ID 101 is 2000. So now let's update the salary. So you can see our query is executed successfully. Now let's again check the records of the employee table. So guys, here you can see the salary is updated. So let's update one more salary. So I will write update EMP, set salary to 7,000 where ID equal to 103. So let's again run this query. So you can see our query is executed successfully and it is also updated in the EMP table. So guys, here in this transaction we have executed to update query. Now we will create a save point. So for this we will write save point and then I will write the name of the save point. So I will write salary underscore save. So here salary underscore save is the name of the save point. So let's execute this query. So you can see here our statement is executed successfully. That means our save point is created. Now let's execute one more SQL statement in this transaction. So guys, you can see in this table the name of the employee with the ID 101 is Jack. So let's update the name of the employee to Saloni. So I will write set name equal to Saloni where ID equal to 101. So let's execute this query. So you can see our query is executed successfully. Now let's again check the records of the employee table. So guys, here you can see the name is updated now. So till now we have created a save point in a transaction. So guys, here we can do three things. Either we can commit the transaction, or we can roll back the entire transaction, or we can roll back to the specific save point that we have just created. So guys, till now we have discussed about the commit command, rollback command and save point. So now we will see our next command, which is rollback to command. So guys, this command is used to roll back a transaction to a specific save point. So for this we have to write rollback to and then we have to write the name of the save point. So in our case we will write rollback to and then we will write the name of our save point, which is salary save. So now let's execute this command. So you can see our command is executed successfully. Now we will check our EMP table. So you can see the salary of the employee with the ID 101 and 103 is still updated, but the name of the employee with the ID 101 is revert back to Jack. So here we have undo the transaction up to that specific save point. But guys, here our transaction is not completed. We still have to commit our transaction to save the changes permanently to the database. So here I will write commit command. So let's execute this command. So now our transaction is successfully committed. That means our changes, which is before the save point, are now permanently saved in the database. And guys, if you want to undo all the SQL statement of this transaction, then you can also use rollback command instead of commit command. So this is how save point and rollback to works. And guys, one more thing, you can also create multiple save points in a transaction, something like this. So guys, execute this transaction at your end and let me know the output in the comment section. So guys, this was all about the transactional command in the SQL. And I hope you guys will like this video, and in the next video we will discuss about some Windows function. So till then, keep watching Code Era and don't forget to like this video and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much for watching.